Alright guys, so welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video is going to be something a little different. We're going to talk about a headphone from a company you may or may not have heard of. The company is Audiofly. Now I know you're probably thinking, I've never heard of this brand, why are you reviewing their headphones? Audiofly is a company from Australia, and that is where these headphones are made. They're really well known for their in-ear headphones. They have in-ear headphones that sell all the way up to $1,000. They're really high-end stuff. So when I saw that they had an over-the-ear headphone that was out, I contacted the company and said, look, I am interested in reviewing these. If you would like to send me a pair, I would gladly review them. I'm intrigued. So not only did they send me the pair of headphones to review, they also sent me a code that you guys, my subscribers, can use. It's Gamesky 10. And I'll put a link to their site below if you are interested in them. You get 10% off these headphones, which is a really good deal because these retail for $250. All right, so enough of that. Let's get into the headphones. Today we're talking about the Audiofly AF240. Alright, the Audiofly AF240 is an over-the-ear headphone. It is a closed-back headphone made out of incredible materials. So let's go ahead and get into the accessories. To start off with, we are looking at a 5-foot braided cable. This thing is made to not tangle at all and made out of incredible materials. Even the ends that go into the headphones and into your device themselves, they're gold-plated straight plug-ins. They have a simple branding on both of the sides, and then it also has the talk, play, pause, and skip controls right here on the cable as well, which is really convenient. And they also have it very close to the top so that when it's plugged in, it's simple to just find instead of reaching all over the cable to try and find it. All right, this carrying case is no joke. I mean, the material it's made of, it says it's made out of some kind of wax type material. I have never felt a case be so secure and so tough. Like, there's no way that you could tear into this. They have a simple leather patch here with the Audiofly logo. You see the drawstring here to keep them secure. Inside is one of the softest material. Your headphones are not going to get scratched in these at all. There's also a pouch for you to keep the headphone cable, and the headphone cable is all you need because these are not powered, so you do not need a micro USB cable. So now you're gonna see what intrigued me about these. These do not look like your normal everyday headphones. In fact, to me, they have a very retro look to them. I really like the look. They are available in black and also in white. Now on the ear cups themselves, you'll see there's a leather-ish type design. It's a copper look where they have their logo. It is also that right here. Now this is where it gets interesting. The headband itself, you see a little mechanism in here that you can move it back and forth, and that causes the ear cups to be able to form to however your head is moving. Now it is also self-adjusting, so you see that I pull these down and they'll slide back up. And that's a beautiful thing because you don't have to always try to line them up. You just put them on your head and you pull down, and then you have the fit that you want. And no matter how much you move, they didn't go back up. I didn't have any issue with that, and I was able to keep them on my head for a very long period of time. You see up at the top, you see that it's leather and it's stitched on both sides, holding in the material below. Now you can also see it has the groove underneath the headband that, you know, if you have a hat where the little buttons at the top, or you're wearing a VR headset, you're able to put them on and you can slide them back and forth and you have no interference. The padding on these are thick. Like, you will not feel anything when these are on your head, and that's important because of the self-adjusting mechanism. If it wasn't thick here, you would always feel pressure pulling down on the top of your head, and I never experienced that with these at all. Now right here, the material that this is made out of, I don't know if it's aluminum or metal. There's no way in hell that you're going to break these. These are about as sturdy as it gets. This material here, you're not going to have headphones that break at the hinges. Now these don't fold down. The ear cups do twist out. So if you do have them on your head and you want to wear them like this, you can. It gives you that ability. The only way that you can pack these is just slide them in the case just like this. The ear cups are extremely deep. It is a memory foam. Again, the leather that's on here, it is so soft, and after you wear these a few times, it will get used to the size of your ears and it will keep that in, and so you just have extreme comfort with these. I was amazed, I was surprised, because again, these do have a pretty good bit of weight to them, and I'm guessing it's because of the materials used, but it never felt heavy. It always felt comfortable. It says over the ear. These are definitely large enough that most ears are going to fit inside of them. Your left and right are marked on the inside part of the headband. That is pretty standard, but you can also know that when you have your headphone cable plugged in, you can see that on the bottom of the left hand side is where you plug in the headphone jack. All right, so now that we have all of that good stuff out of the way, this is where we talk about audio. Now this is where I didn't know what to expect. I had never tried anything from this company, but I had always heard about how incredible the in-ear headphones were that they had to offer. I was intrigued to see if all these rave reviews for the in-ears could work for over-the-ears. And I have to say, I was really impressed. Okay, what you get out of the sound signature out of these, this is where it's different. You have companies that usually pump bass or either pump treble, and they usually just kind of let mids sit back. They don't focus on mids. This is one of the first headphones I've tried where I can see that they solely focused on the mids. The vocals in most headphones usually kind of get buried underneath bass or treble, and you feel like something's missing. Now with these, vocals are pushed right up front. You're able to get a really good feel for the vocals, the cleanliness, the raspiness, depending on what you're listening to. I felt like vocals were always right up front before bass and treble. Now that's not to say that the bass and treble lack, because they didn't. The impedance level of these headphones is 16 ohms. So like you could drive these with anything, and they're so easy to push, and they have plenty of punch to them. It sounded great across all genres. I really enjoyed these with metal because of the ability to be able to put guitars and vocals forward. It just had a very clean sound, but of course when there was drums, I mean, it was very punchy. I didn't find a genre that I did not like with these. Classical, it was really clean. And then again with like hip hop, R&B, any type of dance type music, bass was extremely punchy. It was just a very fun headphone to listen to. I was completely surprised because I didn't know what to expect. So if you were looking for a headphone where you really like to focus on vocals, and you really feel like your headphone you already have is kind of lacking in that department, these are the ones that you want to look at, because they require pretty much nothing to power them. So you don't have to have an amp, you don't have to have high-end audio equipment. You can simply just plug these in your phone and get incredible sound. Now these with games, I'm gonna go ahead and say I try every headphone that I get with gaming, and it sounded amazing. It sounded really good. Again, because of the mids, you hear a lot of voices in games, you hear a lot of noise that most headphones put behind them. So it's pretty simple. I think Audiofly is a company that you guys are going to know a whole lot about. They're known as a high-end audio company, but these, they made an incredible, unique is hard to find these days because everybody's trying to copy everybody else. So if you're somebody that's on a budget, not wanting to spend $400 or $500 on a pair of headphones that can give you studio quality, bringing vocals up front, giving you plenty of punch and great detail in the high end, this is something you want to look at. Now they retail for $250. Like I said, if you go to their site and use the code Gamesky10, you will get 10% off and free shipping. So that's kind of hard to beat. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the other videos. Your support has been amazing. And as always, guys, make sure to stay tuned for more.